Have you ever felt like someone in your life seemed to always be manipulating situations to get attention, constantly seeking validation or trying to destabilize you? Maybe a boss, a friend, or even a family member? These people may have narcissistic characteristics, a profile that is at best exhausting and at worst toxic. Now imagine knowing exactly what to do to make them uncomfortable. No, this doesn't mean seeking revenge or direct confrontation, but rather learning to shield yourself emotionally, maintain your peace, and at the same time neutralize the impact these people have on you. Narcissists thrive on control, admiration, and the ability to manipulate others. But what happens when you don't feed this behavior? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. There are behaviors and attitudes that they simply can't stand, and in this video, we'll explore 6 of them. Why is this important? Because understanding how to deal with a narcissist can free you from toxic dynamics and give you back the power over your own decisions and emotions. You will no longer feel like a victim of criticism, provocation, or emotional games. Throughout this video, we will cover these 6 strategies that narcissists hate and show you how you can implement them in your daily life. Each of them is simple, practical, and extremely powerful. But here's a warning. These strategies are not about attacking or putting anyone down. Instead, they are about you regaining control and creating healthy barriers against manipulation. And why does this work? Because narcissists rely on the emotional response of others to maintain their position of power. When you remove that response, it's like taking the fuel off a fire. The flame goes out, and the impact they have on you disappears. So, if you have ever dealt with a narcissist or know someone who has, this video is for you. Stay with me until the end, because we will cover each of these strategies in detail and ensure that you feel equipped to deal with these personalities assertively and without losing your peace. Are you ready to discover how to make a narcissist uncomfortable without losing your integrity? So let's get started. Before we dive into strategies for dealing with a narcissist, it's essential to understand exactly what defines this challenging personality. After all, the term narcissist is often used incorrectly, referring to people who are simply arrogant or self-centered. However, narcissism goes far beyond that. It is related to a persistent pattern of behavior that can have serious impacts on those who live with these people. Pathological narcissism is actually a recognized personality disorder called narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. People with this disorder have striking characteristics, such as an excessive need for admiration, lack of empathy, feelings of superiority, and a tendency to exploit others for their own benefit. In other words, narcissists live in a world where they are the center, and everyone around them exists to meet their needs and validation. But what does this mean in practice? Let's look at some examples. Imagine a coworker who constantly seeks the spotlight, claims credit for projects he or she did not lead, or manipulates others to achieve his or her goals. Or perhaps a family member who belittles your accomplishments while extolling their own, creating an emotionally draining environment. These are classic situations involving narcissists. What makes these personalities even more difficult to deal with is the way they construct a mask of perfection. Narcissists tend to be charismatic and captivating at first, which helps them gain the admiration of others. However, behind this charming facade is usually an insecure person who depends on constant validation. This internal contradiction between the grandiosity they demonstrate and the fragility they hide is what fuels many of their manipulative behaviors. Another important point: not all narcissists are the same. There are different types, such as the grandiose narcissist, who is easier to identify by their exhibitionist behavior, and the vulnerable narcissist, who tends to be more subtle and manipulative, using victimhood as a tool to attract attention. Both, however, share the same essence: an obsession with their own image and a disregard for the needs of others. Now, you may be wondering, how do you spot a narcissist in your life? They often exhibit signs such as interrupting or redirecting conversations to themselves, minimizing the feelings or accomplishments of others, being highly sensitive to criticism, even constructive criticism, constantly seeking validation and praise, showing little or no empathy in emotional situations. Understanding these traits is the first step to effectively dealing with these challenging personalities. After all, the more you know about narcissistic behavior, the better equipped you will be to protect your inner peace. Now that we've clarified what a narcissist is and how they operate, let's explore what really bothers them and how you can use it to your advantage. Hang in there, because the next few sections will provide you with valuable insights. Attention, right now there is a person who always brings negative energy into your life. Be very careful. You need to protect yourself with a lot of prayer. You need to pray every day. Otherwise, your life will be at great risk. If you want protection for your life, you need to download the ebook, The Power of Padre Pio. This ebook contains prayers for all moments. If you want to live a life of divine protection, click on the link in the first pinned comment and download The Power of Padre Pio right now. Thing 1. Ignoring their need for attention. Narcissists have an almost insatiable need to be the center of attention. They crave applause, praise, and constant validation, and will do anything to ensure that you focus on them. Ignoring this need is like tapping into a weak spot that they are desperately trying to protect. When you don't give them attention or validation, it deeply destabilizes them, because their identity is often anchored in how others perceive them. Think of a narcissist as someone who is constantly putting on a show. They expect you to be the audience reacting to their every move and speech. But when you stop applauding or even look up at the stage, they begin to lose control of the narrative. This leaves them frustrated, confused, and often angry, because the fuel they crave is simply no longer coming from you. How do you effectively ignore them? It's not about being rude or cold, but about removing the emotional fuel that fuels narcissistic behavior. Here are some simple strategies. Keep responses neutral. If the narcissist does something to get your attention, avoid responding with enthusiasm or emotion. Responses like "I see" or "okay" can be enough to show that you're not playing the game. Don't react to provocations. Narcissists love to provoke in order to test your boundaries. If you don't respond with anger or indignation, they lose their power over the situation. Redirect the focus. Whenever possible, shift the conversation to something neutral or about someone else. This shifts the focus and shows that you're not interested in giving them the stage they want. Why does this work? When you ignore a narcissist, you're not only frustrating their need for validation, you're also reasserting your own emotional autonomy. It's like saying, without words, "I don't need to be involved in your game." This can lead to extreme reactions, such as more intense attempts to get your attention, but stay firm. Question to the viewer: have you ever tried to ignore a narcissist? If so, how did they react? If not, imagine what it would be like to try this strategy in your next interaction. Share your experience in the comments. Remember, you have the power to decide where to place your attention. Use this to your advantage. Step 2. Establishing firm boundaries. One of a narcissist's greatest weaknesses is dealing with boundaries. They thrive in environments where they can manipulate and control, and any barrier that prevents this dynamic makes them deeply angry. When you say no or set clear boundaries, it directly challenges the control they feel they have over you. To them, it feels like a flaw in their game plan. Setting firm boundaries is more than just verbalizing what you will and will not accept. It is a stance that demonstrates self-confidence and makes it clear that you are not willing to be manipulated. For a narcissist, this is incredibly frustrating because they expect people around them to easily bend to their will. When you act contrary to their will, they feel powerless. For example, imagine a narcissist insists that you change your schedule to accommodate them. The expected response would be something like, Sure, I can give up my time to help you. Instead, you can politely but firmly say, I understand that this is important to you, but I have other commitments and I can't change my schedule. This simple statement shows that you value your own time and priorities, something a narcissist is not used to dealing with. Here's the kicker: firmness is key. Narcissists have a knack for spotting weaknesses and using them to their advantage. So if you are too flexible or hesitant in your decisions, they will interpret this as an opening to exploit. On the other hand, if you remain consistent and clear about your boundaries, they will eventually back down, even if they try to challenge your position initially. Another important strategy is to not over-explain your boundaries. Narcissists will often try to use emotional manipulation or sophisticated arguments to make you feel guilty. Resist the temptation to over-explain. A simple, I can't do that, or I don't agree with that approach will suffice. Remember that you don't have to justify your decision to someone who doesn't respect your space. By setting firm boundaries, you not only protect your mental health, but you also show that you deserve respect. Narcissists may not like this, but it's exactly the reaction you're looking for to disarm them and protect your peace. Thing 4. Calmness in the midst of provocation. One of narcissists' favorite weapons is to create emotional chaos. They know exactly how to push the right buttons to provoke intense reactions, whether they be outbursts of anger, frustration, or sadness. The goal? To control the situation, feed their ego, and reaffirm their sense of power over you. However, there is one thing that can completely disarm them: your calmness. When you choose not to react to a narcissist's provocations, you take away from them the emotional fuel they crave. To them, your calmness is like an impenetrable wall, an invisible shield that prevents them from achieving their goals. And this can be deeply irritating to them, because the emotional reaction of other people is what fuels their manipulative behavior. Imagine a common situation. The narcissist makes a sarcastic comment or tries to belittle something important to you, hoping that you will explode or get into an argument. If instead you remain calm, respond neutrally, or even do not respond at all, the impact is immediate. They lose control of the situation, and the game they were trying to play becomes meaningless. How to stay calm. Take a deep breath. Before responding, stop for a few seconds and breathe deeply. This helps to reduce the emotional intensity of the moment. Don't take it personally. Understand that a narcissist's provocations are more about them than about you. They project their own insecurities and frustrations. Pick your battles. Ask yourself, is this worth reacting to? Often the answer will be no. Respond calmly. Short, neutral responses such as, I understand what you're saying, or that's okay, show that you're not playing along. This approach not only protects your peace of mind, but also prevents the narcissist from gaining control of the situation. Question for you. Have you ever faced a situation where you managed to remain calm in the face of provocation? How was the other person's reaction? Share in the comments. Your experience may inspire others. Remember, composure is not a weakness, but rather a powerful way to protect yourself from manipulation. Thing 5. Be authentically yourself. Nothing makes a narcissist more uncomfortable than dealing with someone who is completely confident in themselves and lives authentically. Narcissists thrive in environments where they can manipulate people's perceptions of themselves. When they encounter someone who is unfazed by criticism or manipulation, they lose the control they so desperately desire. Authenticity is a powerful weapon against narcissism. Authentic people live in alignment with their values and beliefs, without needing external validation. This is exactly the opposite of what a narcissist seeks in their interactions. They prefer to deal with people who doubt themselves because this makes them easier to manipulate. Imagine the following situation. You are wearing an outfit that you love and that represents your personal style. The narcissist makes a derogatory comment, trying to undermine your confidence, something like, "Do you really think that suits you?" Here's the kicker. Instead of feeling embarrassed or changing your mind, you smile and say something like, "I love it, and that's all that matters." This type of response is incredibly frustrating to a narcissist because it shows that their opinion has no power over you. Being authentically yourself also means setting clear boundaries about who you are and what you stand for. Narcissists hate it when they can't force you to change your opinions or give in to their wishes. When you stick to your beliefs, even in the face of manipulation, they feel disarmed. Plus, authenticity brings a natural glow that attracts others. The genuine relationships and deep connections you build based on the truth about who you are become a constant reminder to the narcissist that they have no power over you. This is especially difficult for them because deep down, they often struggle to form authentic connections with others. Practical tip: whenever you feel like a narcissist is trying to manipulate you or attack your self-esteem, ask yourself, does this criticism reflect something about me or about them? More often than not, their words say more about their own insecurities than about you. Being yourself is an act of courage. Stay strong and remember, what makes you unique is also what makes you unshakable in the face of difficult personalities. Thing 6. Real, meaningful connections. The narcissist's kryptonite. If there's one thing that truly bothers a narcissist, it's their ability to build and maintain real, meaningful connections with others. Narcissists have a hard time forming genuine bonds because their interactions are often based on manipulation, control, and self-interest. When they see someone else cultivating healthy, authentic relationships, it directly challenges the sense of control they seek to establish. Let's dive deeper into this point and understand why these connections are so powerful and so feared by them. Why do narcissists hate genuine connections? The answer lies in the essence of how narcissists operate. They need to be the center of attention, the key player in any dynamic. When you build authentic relationships based on mutual trust and support, it excludes them from a role they want to play. It's as if you have a source of strength that's not dependent on them, which makes them feel irrelevant. Additionally, narcissists view meaningful relationships as a threat because such connections strengthen the people involved emotionally, making them less vulnerable to manipulation. When you surround yourself with people who genuinely support you, it becomes harder for a narcissist to isolate you or control your emotions. They know this, and they will often try to undermine these relationships. Tactics a narcissist uses to sabotage your connections. Narcissists are master manipulators, and this is especially true when they see that you are investing in other people. Here are some common tactics they may use to weaken your bonds. Sowing discord. They may create friction between you and those close to you. Small, poisonous comments, gossip, or distortions of the truth are tools they use to cause conflict. Demanding excessive attention. They will try to consume all of your time and energy, leaving little room for you to cultivate relationships with others. Questioning your choices. Does this person really like you? Or are you sure you can trust them? These are typical phrases they use to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, devaluing your connections. Narcissists often minimize the importance of the people you love, saying things like, "They don't care as much as you think," or "I'm the only person who truly understands you." Recognizing these tactics is the first step to neutralizing them. When you know what's going on, it's easier to protect your relationships. How can you strengthen genuine connections and shield yourself from a narcissist? Now that you know what a narcissist is trying to do, let's talk about how to protect and strengthen your connections. Here are some practical strategies. Invest in quality time. Healthy relationships take time and effort. Set aside time to spend with friends and family, whether it's for a deep conversation or simple activities that you enjoy together. Communicate openly. Honest communication is the foundation of any authentic relationship. Share your concerns, dreams, and even the challenges you're facing with people you trust. This creates a deeper bond. Set clear boundaries with the narcissist. Don't let them monopolize your time or interfere with your other relationships. Be firm and clear about your priorities. Surround yourself with positive people. Genuine connections are strengthened when you surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, support you, and want the best for you. Identify who these people are in your life and nurture those bonds. Stay emotionally strong. Narcissists prey on insecurities and weaknesses. Working on your self-esteem and emotional resilience is essential to resisting attempts at manipulation. The power of genuine connections in your life. When you have a solid, support network of people who genuinely care about you, it makes all the difference. True relationships provide emotional security, trust, and even a sense of belonging that a narcissist cannot provide. Dealing with narcissists is not easy, but by adopting these strategies, you can regain control and protect your inner peace. Remember, you are not here to satisfy anyone's expectations, especially not a narcissist's. If you found these tips helpful, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more transformative content. And now tell us, which of these strategies are you going to try first? Write in the comments. See you in the next video.